What's going on, guys? Back at it again with another video. So as you can probably see, it snowed a little bit last night, and me and Bryce were planning a hunt back up to the north zone. It's the 27th. South won't be open until tomorrow, but they closed all the roads down, so I was like, well, I still want to post a video on Wednesday. So today what I'm going to post about is all my duck calls. So a lot of people don't have this many duck calls, but I have to say a lot of people are hunting on private land. So I'm going to go over all the calls and all the different ducks that they imitate, and I'll tell you a little story about why you should probably get a couple of these. So the first two, I keep 2 mallard calls on me. Now this is my primary. This is a Jace Robertson Pro Series. I really like this call. It's real easy to blow. Watch this. So you can hear how little air it takes. And that just makes it real easy for you to fine tune it and just... So you can really just do whatever you want with this call, because it's like so little air is required. If you're looking for a new call, I'd definitely recommend it. It's a great beginner call, a great advanced caller. Now we got the Duck Commander Duck Picker. Now this, so when it gets real cold, these early seasons hunts, it's not such a big deal, but after you get to blowing these calls, the reeds will get some moisture on them, and then you leave them, and then 15 minutes later here comes some more ducks, and then all of a sudden you go to grab it and then it doesn't do nothing because the reeds froze together. So I keep 2 mallard calls on me. That way if this one's locked up, I haven't used this one and I can call. Also, this call is much louder than the Jace Robertson call. So this is my primary. If the ducks are just traveling on the river, I'll hit them with this. But if the ducks are way up in the air and they're going, wherever they're going, the ditches or wherever they decided to go that morning, this call's much louder. It's going to be able to get up there. This is great for windy days as well, whenever your call's not going to travel as far. So this is as loud as this one gets. So, and they're both double reeds, so they're not that complicated to blow. But I like to have both of them for those reasons. So, moving on, I got my teal call. Now, I'll probably take this off later in the season. I'm going to probably replace it with a goose call. But right now, even walking up here, we jumped up probably 6 to 10 blue-winged teal just floating on the river. So they're still here. So I'll keep a teal call on me. And this one's, it's a little bit different. The cadence is a little bit different than a mallard hen, but the way you blow it is the same. So on a mallard hen, it's like a 5, dee, 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 dee. This one's like this. So it's a lot choppier. There's a lot more different call, like not calls, but like a lot different cadence. That's the word. So the cadence for a mallard is do, 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 do. This one is dee, 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 dee. So it's a lot quicker. Next up, I got they call this a teal whistle, a pintail whistle. I just call it a duck whistle. All my stuff is from Duck Commander, no particular reason. I bought the Jace Robertson Pro Series first, and I really was so impressed with it. I was just like, I'm going to buy all the stuff I need from Duck Commander. So this one's sort of like a 6-in-1, I think. So what it is it's a widgeon. It's a green-winged teal. It's a mallard drake, and it's a pintail. Thought I just saw a duck flying. Guess not. And then, last but not least, I got a mallard drake call. If you guys think I should make a video about how to blow each and every one of these, and how to blow them and when to blow them, let me know in the comments. But that story that I was wanting to get at about why I have so many calls, because I guess I haven't covered that part yet. The reason why is because I'm a public land hunter. I know a lot of these guys down south and back east, or it seems like anywhere else other than New Mexico, they hunt private, and you'll see them, and they got their lanyards, and they got a mallard hen call, and maybe a drake or maybe a teal whistle. But they more than likely have no more than 2 calls on them. For me, public land, you're competing with a lot of hunters that are doing the same thing you're doing. So if you got 2 dozen mallard decoys, a mojo, and a mallard hen call, what's setting you apart from the guy 200 yards down the river? So the story that I was going to tell you guys is I was hunting the ponds, so how the ponds work is it's pretty much how all ponds work across the United States as I understand it. It's like a first come first serve. So these guys, so I pulled up, I got my spot, these guys came in probably a half hour later. We kind of waved our flashlights at each other, just letting them know, you know, don't shoot over here, I won't shoot over there. You know, I won't take your ducks, you won't take my ducks. So we kind of, you know, this is kind of like an understanding that duck hunters have with each other. He seemed like a nice guy, I never talked to him. But anyway, so I had shot a few ducks that morning. He had shot a few ducks. I'd seen him shoot and drop them. And so there was this widgeon. Well, I'd come to find out it was a widgeon. So I saw this duck fly over. He flew over me, and he was locked onto those guys' spread. Well, they hit him with a mallard hand call. Whack, 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 whack. And that widgeon was probably 60 yards above their spread, just circling them. He probably circled twice. And usually what that means is that they're not that confident. They're looking for something wrong. They're looking at the shoreline, they're looking in the trees, they're looking for movement, they're looking for a face looking up at them, they're looking at the movement of your decoy spread. They're looking for something because something's not right, you know what I mean? And they're just hitting them with that mallard hen call. Whack, 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 whack. And then on one of his passes, I noticed it had a white breast. So I thought, huh, I think that's a widgeon. So just because I was bored, I grabbed my duck whistle and went. And man, that widgeon, as soon as he heard that, he just went whoop, and he came right in, wings cupped, and I shot him. I really wasn't doing that to you know, draw the ducks away from that guy. It was really unexpected. But the reasoning for what I'm saying is that these ducks, by the time they get down to New Mexico, they've seen it all. And if you think that you're going to get them with 2 dozen mallard decoys and a mallard call, you're joking yourself, because they've seen that 100 times, guarantee you. I mean, just statistically speaking, you got to think about how many times those ducks have been shot at. They know, they've seen just about anything you can throw at them. So you got to throw something a little different. This is a killdeer. I was like, oh, what kind of duck is that? But so you gotta show them something different, guys. That's why I have pintail decoys, I have widgeon decoys, and I have all these calls. It's so that, man, I'm thinking every bird I see, I keep on thinking it's a duck. But yeah, so you gotta throw something different at them, guys. So like I said, that widgeon, he's probably heard a mallard hen call 100 times. But how many times has he heard another widgeon? All the time. I guarantee you, every time he's heard a widgeon, he's been able to land safely. But I bet you he's heard, you know, 1,000 mallard calls, and you know, a quarter of the time when he tried to land with those mallards, he got shot at. And so some people call it confidence calling, some people call it whatever. I don't know what I would really call it. I would just call it realism. I mean, you know, the largest species of ducks in North America is mallards, but that's not the only group. There's pintails, there's widgeons, there's teal, there's a whole lot of other species, and the more that you can mimic, the more realistic you're going to look, and the more realistic you're going to sound. All right, guys, so that's probably going to wrap it up. Like I said, if you want to see how to blow each of these calls individually, I'll do a review on all of them. If you made it this far and you're thinking, Zaya, I really don't have that much money for all those calls, what's the bare bones minimum? I would say bare bones minimum, get a mallard hen decoy or call. I know that I was dogging on it this whole time, but you're gonna get the most use out of it. If you can afford 2, I would recommend getting a teal whistle or a duck whistle. And the reason for that is when they're coming in, I'll usually feed chuckle, and then I'll also, and this will do a widgeon. Like I said, this will do a widgeon, a mallard drake, pintail, a green wing teal. So this is a little bit more diverse. If you want to get 3, or if you're thinking I'm just gonna get mallard hen and all I'm gonna do is blow that mallard drake, then I would say get this one. This one sounds so much cleaner. Here, I'll do a comparison real quick. See how this one's a lot lower and deeper? So yeah, if you're gonna get something, I would recommend getting at least this. But if you're gonna get 2, get this or this. If you're gonna get all 3, then get all 3 of these. Teal, it's more of an early season deal. Later on in the season, you're probably not gonna see any teal. They're probably gonna be way south of where you're at. There's even some states right now that they're not in their area right now. So just yeah, just know what species are in your area, guys. I mean, if you have a gadwall, more gadwalls in your area, get a gadwall call. I'm just talking from my personal experience, just because that's what I'm doing. Doesn't mean that's what you need to do. So that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. This weekend, I'm going to have my deer hunt, but I am going to film tomorrow. Tomorrow is the opening day of the South Zone duck hunting. So it's going to feel like duck season is finally here. It's been teal season. The North Zone opened, but the South was still open or closed. So now that the South Zone's open, it's going to feel like full-blown duck season. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. It's going to help YouTube recommend my videos, and it's going to get my channel bigger. And the bigger I get, the better equipment I'm going to get, and the better videos I'm going to put out. So until next time, guys, I'll see you.